Je travaillais comme toujours, plongé dans des abîmes d'angoisse et d'inquiétude. Mon souci portait aussi bien sur la matière elle-même que sur la manière dont j'allais la mettre en scène. Mais au moins cette anxiété montrait que le travail avait commencé. Si je voulais faire de l'œuf de Lennon exactement ce qu'il devait être, je devais me rendre moi-même sur l'île. La baie de Clew est un ancien bassin inondé. Ces nombreux îlots minuscules ne sont que les sommets de drumlins épars submergés après un déluge d'une violence inimaginable. Géologie lent, et puis brutale. Il n'y a probablement pas 365 îles, ainsi que le voudrait la légende, tout au plus la moitié. Le sommet de Croagh Patrick, la montagne sacrée du pèlerinage, s'élève au sud de la baie. Au nord, s'étend la chaîne des monts Néphine, du comté de Mayo, comme de mauvais augure. Si l'on peut dire d'une montagne qu'elle broie du noir, c'est bien celle-ci.
Bienvenue à toutes et à tous. Pour la première participation du Centre culturel irlandais à la Nuit de la littérature, nous recevons Kevin Barry et Marc Roger pour vous faire découvrir Beatlebone ou L'œuf de Lennon, le deuxième roman de Kevin qui vient d'être publié par Buchet-Chastel, traduit par Carine Chichereau qui est là avec nous ce soir. Bienvenue Carine. Bienvenue Kevin, bienvenue Marc. Ce livre par Han, son premier roman, a gagné le prix prestigieux The International Impact Dublin Literary Award en 2013. Kevin est reconnu tant pour ses nouvelles que pour ses deux romans, tous deux traduits en français. Il est également l'éditeur, avec Olivier Smith, qui est aussi présente, bienvenue Olivier, de la revue littéraire et multidisciplinaire Winter Papers. Ce soir, Marc Roger prête sa voix au texte de Kevin.
Si l'on peut dire d'une montagne qu'elle broie du noir, c'est bien de celle-ci. Par une belle matinée, la baie de Clew est un endroit d'une infinie beauté, surtout quand on la découvre depuis un lieu élevé comme Mulroney, où la lumière du printemps descend en oblique pour donner du relief à tout le paysage. Pourtant, le plus souvent, les nuages de l'Atlantique arrivent en masse de l'ouest, tels des envahisseurs, alors la vue change, devient incertaine. Les îles semblent apparaître et disparaître dans la brume. Parmi elles, on trouve Dorinish. Dorinish est en réalité une paire d'îles, Dorinish Bay et Dorinish Moor, liées par un cordon rocheux. John Lennon rêvait depuis longtemps d'acheter une île. On lui montra l'annonce, l'idée lui plut. Il se rendit pour la première fois sur l'île à la fin de l'été 1967. Un pêcheur local l'y conduisit. Il n'y a jamais de silence sur une île, c'est vrai. Il y a toujours quelque chose en mouvement. Il se lève sous la voûte sombre de la grotte. La mer nocturne, lui, ses lumières bougent en éclats noirs. La surface de l'eau se fracture, gerbe d'éclaboussures, et la grande tête lisse apparaît, les poils bien taillés de la moustache, et le grand corps gras se hisse à force de muscles sur les rochers. Il se traîne jusqu'à l'entrée de la caverne. Bonjour. Et jette un coup d'œil indifférent à l'intérieur. Prunelle triste, douloureuse. Le visiteur de la nuit, le phoque. Instant de doux calme quand leurs regards se croisent. « Ça va ?» demande John. « Ça va, John ?» dit le phoque. « Oui, que tout ça disparaisse, » dit John. Et il se retrouve seul alors dans la grotte. Il essaie de crier, mais rien ne vient. Il est renvoyé en arrière par une force puissante. Les grains de sable retombent sur le sol de la grotte et pendant un moment règne un silence de mort. Puis il entend crier son nom. John! La voix est emportée par le vent. Kevin Barry.
Thank you very much, Mark, and thank you, Carine, my translator. I'm now going to translate the novel back into English. I'm just going to read the first page or two in the original version, in what passes for English in the west of Ireland. John has arrived late at night and he's been driven out west by a mysterious driver. He sets out for the place as an animal might, as though on some fated migration. There is nothing rational about it or even entirely sane, and this is the great attraction. He's been travelling half the night east and nobody has seen him. If you keep your eyes down, they can't see you. Across the strung out skies and through the eerie airports, and now he sits in the back of the old Mercedes. His brain feels like a city centre, and there's a strange tingling in the bones of his monkey feet. Fuck it, he'll deal with it. The road unfurls like a black tongue and laps at the night. There's something monkeyish, isn't there, about his feet? Won't worry about it now, we'll worry about it in a bit. Save one for later. Trees and fields pass by in the grainy night. Monkeys on the fucking brain lately, as a matter of fact. Anxiety. He hears a blue yonderly note from somewhere. Perhaps it's from within. Now the driver's somber eyes show up in the rear view. It's arranged, he says. There should be no bother whatsoever. But we could be talking an hour yet to the hotel out there. The driver has a very smooth timbre, deep and trustworthy, like a newscaster. The bass note and brown velvet of his voice. The great chunky old Merc cuts the air, quiet as money as they move. John is tired, but not for sleeping. No fucking pressmen, he says, and no fucking photogs. In the near dark, there is the sense of trees and fields and hills combining. The way you can feel a world form around you on a lucky night in the springtime. He rolls the window an inch, that's lovely. He's tired as hell but cannot get his head down. It's the Maytime, the air is thick with and tastes of it, and he's all stirred up again. Where the fuck are we, driver? It would be very difficult to say. Quite likes this driver. Stretches out his toes, it's the middle of the night in fucking nowhere. He sighs heavily. This starts out well enough but turns quickly to a dull moaning, not a handsome development. Driver is up in the rear view again as though to say, gather yourself. For a moment they watch each other gravely. The night moves. The driver has a high purple colour and his nose looks dead, and he speaks now in a scolding hush. That's going to get you nowhere, he says. He tips the wheel, the road is turned, they're moving fast and west. Mountains climb the night sky, the coal stars travel, they're getting higher. The air changes all the while. By a scatter of woods there is a medieval scent. By a deserted house on a sudden turn there is an occult air. How to explain these fucking things? They come at last by the black gleaming sea, and this place is so haunted, or at least it is for me, and there is a sadness too, close in, like a dampened second skin. Out here the trees have been twisted and shaped by the wind into strange new guises. You can see witches, ghouls, creatures of nightwood, howling banshees, cackling hoods. It's a night for the fucking bats, he says. The driver turns, smiling sadly. You have the look of a poor fellow who's caught up in himself. Oh really? What's on your mind? Not easy to say, driver. Love, blood, fate, death, sex, the void, mother, father, cunt and prick. These are the things on his mind. Also, how many more times are they going to ask me come on the fucking Muppet Show? I just want to get to my island, he says. He will spend 3 days alone on his island, that is all that he asks. That he might scream his lungs out and scream the days into nights, and scream to the stars by night, if stars there are, and the stars come through. When I had the idea to put John Lennon as the main character in my novel, I thought, this is the worst idea I could possibly have. This is a really terrible idea. Because every reader is going to open the first page of the novel with an expectation of how that character should sound. We think we know him. He's such an iconic figure, such an iconic presence. So it took a great deal of work and time, and I had to watch a lot of YouTube and listen to Lennon speak in actual interviews from the 1970s to try and get his voice right on the page. It took, I thought it was going to be a quick book. I thought it was going to take 6 months, and it took 4 years before I had a voice that I was happy with for Lennon. I went to his island, which is out in Clew Bay, off the County Mayo coast. It's not what you'd expect. It's an incredibly loud place. There are lots of seagulls and birds that nest out there, and they don't like humans showing up. And they dive. And that's the reason he never built a house out there, because Yoko Ono didn't like the birds. She was freaked out by all the seagulls. So she said, no way are we building a holiday home out there. But yeah, I always find with me, my inspiration always comes from a place. That's always the start of a story. It's the place and it's the atmosphere that a place gives off, and the kind of aura or energy from a place that inspires me to make a story in response to it.
Donc la question c'était, est-ce qu'il a beaucoup voyagé, est-ce qu'il a retracé les pas de Lennon? Et la réponse est bien oui, et qu'il a même visité l'île que Lennon a achetée dans la baie de Clew, dans le comté de Mayo. Et quand il y est allé, il a découvert que c'était un endroit avec beaucoup de bruit, qu'il y avait beaucoup de mouettes, beaucoup d'oiseaux, et que c'était pas du tout un endroit calme, et que lui n'était pas bien vu, que les oiseaux ne l'aimaient pas. Et c'était la même pour Yoko Ono, et quand elle a vu l'île, elle n'a pas voulu bâtir une maison sur l'île parce qu'elle n'aimait pas les oiseaux. Carine Chichereau, la traductrice, va poser une question.
Yes, I'd like to ask a question about the structure of the book, because it's a very different structure, and especially, you know, the middle section when you start speaking in your own voice. Why did you decide to do it, and why put it in the middle of the book?
Yeah, and I had a long debate with both of my editors in Britain and in America about where that section should go. Essentially, in the middle of the book, there's an essay about my writing of the book, and the essay started by accident, really. I was gathering all my notes for the novel in one place, just copying them into a lovely new moleskin notebook that I had bought, and I found very effortless paragraphs forming as I told the story straight, the actual story of John Lennon buying this little island in the west of Ireland. And I started to, whenever you find effortlessness appearing on your desk as a writer, you pay attention. You know, nothing had been effortless up to this point with the novel. And I started to move into quite emotional material. I realized I was creating a portrait of an artist. And to do so, you have to bring whatever you can bring from your own life to it to make it feel real and properly emotional on the page. One of the things I had in common with Lennon was the early loss of a parent. And I started for the very first time to write about my mother's death when I was 10, to write about this directly. I kind of knew at this point that this essay was the emotional heart of the book. And I was very determined. My editors were kind of leaning on me to put it at the end as kind of an afterword. But I said, no, this is the heart of the book. The book feeds into this and opens out from it afterwards. And I'm happy that I stuck to my guns on that. I think the trick of this book for the reader is the essay. If they go with the essay, they will go with the novel, generally. After about a year of watching all the YouTube, I was happy with the voice I had for John. And he had found himself in a double act again with this driver, Cornelius. And I realized I could just go along like this and make a kind of nice buddy movie or road movie type novel. But I wanted to lift it from that. I wanted to make it stranger and denser, and to go into my own workings as a novelist and to show what I had to put on the page to make it stand up and come to life. Sorry, that's a long translation.
Carine a posé une question sur la structure du roman, parce qu'au plein milieu du roman, il y a un essai écrit par Kevin sur son processus en écrivant ce roman. Et il a insisté, il a parlé avec ses deux éditeurs, et il a insisté que cet essai devait être le socle, devait être au plein milieu du roman, parce que quand il a commencé à écrire cet essai, il s'est rendu compte que que ça coulait. Il arrivait à écrire sans trop de peine. Et que c'était le cœur émotionnel du roman, parce que, comme John Lennon, lui aussi, il a perdu un parent à l'âge de 10 ans, il a perdu sa mère, et il écrivait de cette expérience et il examinait le processus de l'artiste. Il écrivait un peu un portrait d'un artiste, donc il examinait le fait d'être écrivain et le fait d'écrire, l'acte de l'artiste. Et je crois que c'est tout. C'était plus long en anglais. It was longer in English, but I think I covered it. Bon, il ne reste qu'à moi qu'à remercier vous, le public, d'être venu, de remercier Marc Roger et Clew Bay. Merci.